Hey guys and girls, my name is Alan and welcome to today's gameplay commentary. So I've got another Fortnite Battle Royale match for you to enjoy. And today I'm playing as part of a squad. It's public squad, so I don't know these people, they don't know me. Basically, you can either play Battle Royale solo by yourself, so there's you versus 99 other players, or you can jump into a squad match. You can party it with friends if you've got any friends online, but in this case I'm just with a bunch of randoms, so it's 25 teams of 4. Well, technically you could play as a smaller team, so there might be some non-4-man team squads, but I think for the most part people play as a 4-man team. You can fill a slot even if you've got like a squad of 3, so I don't see why you wouldn't play as a squad of 4. It just helps you with the numbers advantage. Anyway, as you can see there, match has only just started and one of our teammates has already gone down and died permanently and then promptly left the match. So with 2 kills in, we've already a man down, and that's one of the things I hate most about squads is that when players die, well, okay, when they die, when they quit out, then that's fine. But it's the fact they've died so early on. I mean, literally, that person was either the first or the second person to die. There was 98 players when that person left, so not particularly helpful. And I understand that these things happen. I've died quite early on in the game as well, but I don't think I've ever died first or second or top 5 at all, which is kind of embarrassing if you ask me. But I understand it does happen. However, it's a team-based game, so I guess trying to stick with your team is the best advice I can give you. I'm still learning the game. I'm still learning the strats. As you can see there, I've just landed. There was nothing in that tower, unfortunately, and now I'm just... well, see, one of the things that I've noticed watching back some of my game... Well, a lot of my gameplays is that I concentrate a lot on gathering resources early on, and I don't really know why. The thing that you should be concentrating on first and foremost is getting yourself a weapon. And if you're playing as part of a squad, then to group up on your squad and start defending yourselves or whatever, working as a team. As you can see here, this is quite an early piece of gameplay. So for some reason, I don't know why, I'm just in the mindset to gather resources, and it's good to have a lot of resources, wood, bricks, metal. But it's only really useful towards the end of the game when you've sort of got to build defenses or forts, as people call them. Bases, that sort of thing. So early on in the game, the key thing is to go for weapons and to group up with your team, as I said. And the resources, they come naturally, because if you kill other players, they might have harvested some already, or maybe they've already found some from chests or from, other loot boxes, whatever. So yeah, weapons first, which I need to get into the mindset of doing. I'm improving, as I said. This is quite an early piece of gameplay, but I've played a few more matches since, and my improvement is starting to get better, and I'm starting to notice a lot more things as I play. As you can see there, we aren't communicating or anything, but we've managed to get a nice little pinch action on the go, and I sneak up behind these 2 players and assist with at least 1 kill, and then get 1 myself. So yeah, nice piece of gameplay there, and I don't know why, I assume maybe I just got caught up in the heat at the moment. I nearly shot one of my teammates, and I didn't realise in this match, but there is another match where I accidentally shot a teammate, and I didn't realise that friendly fire is actually activated. So if you shoot teammates, you can kill them, and unfortunately, so the first 2 nights of playing, everything was fine, but then like the 3rd and 4th night that I was playing, so many team killers. There was this one evening where like back-to-back matches I had team killers just shoot me in the back for no reason whatsoever. I presume to either nick my resources or to nick my weapons, but some of the times I didn't really have anything, so I don't really understand why they shot me. I mean, it kind of undermines the whole point of playing as a squad, right? If you're going to team kill, well, okay, if you kill 3 of your teammates, that's 3 less people to worry about. But I think it's so much harder to win a squads match on your own than it is to win solo, because potentially when you get to the end, you could be coming up against a team of 4. So it's a 1v4 then. If they're all communicating, then it's really hard to win that. Whereas obviously if you're playing as a solo, then at the end of it, it's just going to be you versus another player, or maybe you versus a couple of other players, but technically everyone's trying to kill each other, so you could just sit back and do nothing. So I don't really see the benefit of team killing. And to be honest, I mean, they could remove that friendly fire feature. I guess they put it in to make things a bit more intense. And I guess, it stops people from nading, some spam nades, sorry, and all the rest of it. But at the same time, you do get that problem of team killers. And you do have an option to report these players, and I have been doing so. But as I said, that 3rd and 4th evening that I was playing, so many team killers. It was just I couldn't make it up. I've recorded all this footage, so if need be, I can share the footage with the developers and report them. However, whichever way they need me to report them. But I'd rather spend my time playing, if I'm quite honest. So I sent a report, at the end of the game, because you can report players if you see them cheating or if you see them, behaving inappropriately, such as team killing for no apparent well, there's no reason ever to team kill, in my opinion. I don't really understand why you have to shoot your teammates in the back. So it's not like it was an accident either. I mean, I said I've got it all on tape. Well, I've got it all recorded. I don't know. You can say you got it all on tape, but I've got it all recorded if necessary. But as I said, I'd rather just play the game for what it is. And some nights it's fine, and as I said, other nights it's just rampant, and I don't really understand why. So that put a major sour note into the gameplay. As I said, those couple of evenings. But as I said, for the most part, it's okay. It's just every now and then you just get a crowd of them, and it's just I genuinely don't understand why. Anyway. So as you can see there, I picked up a couple of shield potions and I'm at 100-100, so I've got 100 shield and 100 health. I probably could have left one of the potions to the other players. I kind of didn't think about it at the time, but looking back now, as I said, I'm playing a few more matches since. Sharing equipment, sharing weapons and sharing like healing items and potions is kind of key, because it's better to have 3 people at say 50% shield health and 100% health than 2 people at 100%, and then one person just like 10% health, because if that one person goes down, then technically it's just a 2-man team then. Whereas, obviously if everyone's got a lot of health and a lot of shield, then it just means that person might not go down in the next engagement, and so you've got a squad of 3 or a squad of 4, whatever. So sharing equipment, sharing weapons and sharing healing items and potions and stuff like that it's good practice. And I know it's kind of hard in pubs because you don't really communicate and stuff. And one of the things I've noticed about this game is that even though when you watch like YouTubers play, they always seem to be in a party of 4. When it comes to like public matches, it seems as though it's literally just a squad of 4 randoms, which is kind of nice because obviously it'd be sucky to go up against a team of 4 every single match. Well, every single team is a team of 4 communicating everything, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And I mostly play pubs. Well, technically I only ever play pubs. I don't know why I don't say mostly, because that's just how I play my games. And in this sort of game, I feel like I do need a squad to play with, against other squads, because when you're communicating, you do a lot better. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to drop a bandage to give to my teammate, trying to share some of my healing items. What I don't realize is that the person's already got over 75% health, so even if I did drop it, kind of pointless. But as I said, I'm still learning the game at this point, but I thought I'd drop the bandage because I wanted them to pick it up. But when you don't communicate using a microphone, it's kind of hard to explain things. And it's just one of those sort of things. But anyway. So yeah, I mean, this sort of game, as I said, if you've got yourself a squad of players to play together, friends, communicating with microphones, you are going to do a lot better. That's just, there's no two ways about it. And occasionally there are people who do use microphones, and I try and, follow their instructions where possible, but it's not always the case that everyone follows the instructions, and their instructions might not be that good. So it all depends really. But it's a game where I have started to, it's quite rare that I do this, but I've started to use my own microphone because, as I said, when you communicate and when you give instructions and just call outs even, because sometimes it happens so often, you might have experienced it yourself, but sometimes when you're running, across a field or something and you see enemies to the right or to the left and your teammates don't spot them, if you spot them, so you might be find some cover or something, but they just get wiped out because they're in the open. Speaking of wiped out, my other 2 teammates, now I thought we were all heading for the safe zone, right? There's only a minute left on the clock and we're okay distance away, but we need to get there to make sure we've got a good stronghold, a foothold in the area so that we can secure it when the gas comes in, the storm comes in. So I thought that's what we're doing. For some reason, they decided to turn around, get involved in the engagement, and then as you saw there, they got caught out in the open in the bottom of the street, taken out. I mean, I turned around, I was trying to pick targets, but there were at least 2 targets standing, and they were in the open, so I couldn't even go down to revive them. And this is one of the things that kind of annoys me about playing, as I said, with randoms, with pubs. I mean, it's good that the guy was following the other guy, but at the same time, the guy who engaged really shouldn't have gone out on his own, and he put himself unnecessarily in harm's way because the storm was closing in anyway. It would have closed in. So it would have been better to just make it to the safe zone and then turn around and then attack the players that were leaving the storm, if you follow what I'm saying. And I guess, as I said, it's hard to communicate when you're not actually communicating, but just like, I haven't played much of this game, but I've watched quite a few YouTubers play, and just observing other players when I'm dead, there are strats out there, so I don't really get the thinking behind that. But anyway, they died, they left, and as you can see, I'm on my own. And I did fast forward a little bit because I managed to get to this building, and I basically just sat there for pretty much up until this point. I haven't done anything, no engagements, nothing. As you can see, my kill counter is exactly the same. All I'm doing is sitting in a room by myself, camping it out, waiting for the storm to shrink in. because I'm on my own. I can't really do a lot at this point. I just need to wait for the numbers to dwindle so that I can handle maybe a one-on-one, one-on-two, that sort of thing. But if I run across a squad, even if it's squad of 2 or something, I'm going to get outgunned. So it's a sucky situation to be in. But as you can see, just by playing it smart, hiding, you can actually get quite far into the game. And I know I did this in my first match as well, my first ever solo match. And by doing very little, you can actually go quite far in Fortnite Battle Royale. But it's kind of a little bit boring, so I just cut it all out because I didn't think you'd want to sit there and watch me sit nothing for 5 minutes, which is basically what I did. And also, I've realised since as well, I smashed that wall down, but you can actually edit the walls. You can actually put a window in. You can also put a door in as well. So if you don't want to smash it down, because obviously you've just wasted your wood then basically, or whatever material you use, you can put a window in so you can engage with enemies or just peek out of it. You can also put a door in, as I said, to get in and out. You can close it and open it as well. Just have a normal door basically. So that's kind of cool and stuff that I've picked up as I played the game. And yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm still learning, and that's just fun for me because I'm picking up new skills and stuff as I play this game, and I'm learning a lot of new strats and stuff. And as I said, for the first time in a public match that I can recall, I'm actually tempted to use my microphone and actually physically use it, because communication in this game is so beneficial. Like if you're talking with your teammates, or even if you're just giving out instructions or calling out enemies, you can call out resources, you can share resources, and you can just coordinate together. Because when you're playing with randoms who aren't communicating, yeah, you can mark on the map where you want to go, and I do that quite a lot, where I'm heading if I'm not using my microphone, and sometimes pubs do it as well. So it's kind of good that we group on the same location, especially when you jump out the plane for the first time, or the bus. But yeah, if you're not communicating at all in this game, it's very hard. Yeah, so basically, just to summarize, communication and coordination, very important, and you can go quite far in the game with it. So if you haven't yet tried it, I mean, if you don't use the map, then that's the first thing I'd start with. You can move the marker around. Just give your teammates heads up, where you're planning to go. If you're jumping out the bus for the first time, where you think a good place to land is. A lot of pubs already do that, but not all pubs. So that's definitely something I'd look at doing. It's very easy to do. And if you do have a microphone, or maybe you don't really want to talk, but someone else has got a microphone, listen in, see what they're saying. As I said, they don't always give sound advice, but if they say, to rally on a certain location and you think it's a safe location, then why not follow their direction? Someone might as well take the lead. I'm not saying they're in charge, but, if someone's giving good advice, then why not follow it? And as I said, if you stick together as a team and you try and work together as a team, you're going to go a lot further than playing individual. And as I said, it's probably easy to win a solo match playing solos rather than winning a solo match, playing versus other squads. Right, so the game's sort of drawing to an end. As you can see, that the Storm Eye is getting really small and pushing a lot of the players together, and we're in single digits now. So it's me versus at least 2 other teams, because there's 7 people left. Well, there's 6 people left now, but basically there's at least 2 teams, because obviously the maximum number of players in one team is 4, so obviously 4 plus 4 is 8, so there's at least 2 teams. So I make it this far on my own, as you can see, and well, at this point it's just a case of holding out, and as I said, hoping that the other 2 teams take each other out and I just come in and clean up. I sort of trapped myself on this cliff because I heard the other guy coming up behind me, so I heard him, and I decided to engage that guy instead of finding a better location. But looking back now, obviously I was on top of a cliff and I could have flanked around on the far right and pushed further down, but I'm stuck on this cliff now. The Storm Eye is closing in. And my only option is to either jump down the cliff and try and build those little ramps, which I did try to do, but I failed miserably because, well, I'm still quite a beginner at this game. And then I decided to try and escape by building a platform across the cliff. And as you saw there, it didn't work out too well for me, so I did fall to my death. I managed to push onto a 2nd place finish on my own, which isn't too bad, I don't think. Yeah, okay, I didn't do a lot of killing and stuff, but I managed to finish top 2, so if the rest of the team had stayed, they would have got a top 2 placement. Close but no cigar. Poor placement. I got myself trapped on the cliff, as I said, but it's just something you learn for the next match. So yeah, in the future I do have a few more gameplays. As I said, I've been hitting this game quite hard recently, just get something new for me to play. As I said, I do need a new competitive shooter, and I'm not yet decided whether I want to get Call of Duty World War II, so this will do for the time being. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, consider tapping that like button. I really do appreciate it. And if you've got any thoughts you'd like to share with me regarding anything I've talked about today, let me know in the comment section below. But until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, take care, and I will see you later.